In this exercise, we will study different effects which you can achieve using extra stuff as salt, citric acid, urea, this is mineral fertilizer, rubbing alcohol, granulation spray, and sea sponge. At the same time, we will study characteristics of your paint and understand what you can do to, for example, lift it up to the white paper, how your paint is stainable, how is it liftable. That will show you lots of different effects. For this study, I decided to choose 3 colors: ultramarine, natural tint, and burnt umber. You can choose any color from the palette of this course. It's up to you. Also, you will need a brush. Any brush will work for this exercise. You will need paper towel, water, and paper. I use rough surface cotton paper. I divided, it's probably not very visible on the camera, I divided on 3 equal blocks, and each block I divide with black tape on 6 small blocks. So total I have 3 big blocks and 6 blocks of each. And first I'm going to cover with ultramarine, second will be natural tint, and third will be burnt umber. I'm going to start with ultramarine and cover each block per time. So first I'm going to cover it with a little bit salt. I'm going to continue covering with a second block with color. Second I'm going to sprinkle with citric acid. The third will be urea. For the first blocks, I'm going to add a few drops of rubbing alcohol. And fifth block I'm going to spray with granulation spray from Schminke. Granulation spray not always working very well, therefore I recommend try it before on the same type of paper which you're going to do big painting. And for the 6th block we're going to use sponge, sea sponge, and try to remove as much pigment as it possible. And see how your paint which you choose for this exercise, how stainable is that, because sometimes paint is impossible to remove up to the white paper. And let's see what happened. Wet your sponge, do like that, and try to lift. We did this exercise before, just this is for comparison how we can lift it. So you see, we can lift it almost to the white paper, This result will be different from all of different type of paper paint. Next we're working with natural tint, covering 3 first blocks, because I'm going to use salt, citric acid and urea at the same time. The fourth block, I'm going to add a few alcohol drops. Just for experimenting, you can spray it using spray bottle and see what's different. Continue covering last two blocks and using on the fifth block granulation spray, and last block we're going to again try to lift it and see how white paper we can how white paper we can lift it to. And continue doing with burnt umber. And now we need to let everything dry to see final results. Once your paper dry, we need to clean it, remove tape, and see the final results. When you analyze your results, you might understand that depends of the condition of the wetness of your paper, depends of the type of the paper, and depends of amount of pigment which you apply. The result might vary and will be different. The main result of this exercise to understand how your this particular paint on this particular paper, how it's liftable. You see, the most liftable actually it's ultramarine. It's almost very close to white color. The natural tint doesn't allow you to lift to the white color. It's more like purplish tone. And burnt umber will leave you a slightly yellowish tone. The result with spray, with granulation spray, it's most interesting in burnt umber. Here, this is, I would say, it's kind of failure, doesn't work very well. With alcohol spray, interesting. With urea, I would say it's not very well, although right here, quite interesting effect. With citric acid, most fascination effect you received with ultramarine, because undertone create very interesting purplish reaction with citric acid, create very interesting purplish effect. You can use it to create, for example, spring landscapes or more abstract paintings. With natural tint and umber doesn't give you any basically anything. The salt quite good with burnt umber, and interesting with natural tint. With ultramarine, it's okay, could be better. So experimenting with all this type of additional special effects and see how we can use it in our next exercise. So experiment as many times as you like. When you're happy with your result, take a good photo, write down right here everything what you were using, and upload in the window below this video.